To ensure that you guys understand the concept of the handicap in full, I'm gonna demonstrate it using the English Premier League fixtures so that it makes sense to everyone, since the English Premier League is the most famous league in the world, so everyone is familiar with that league. So to show you the handicap option and how it works, I'm gonna use this fixture, Man City versus Burnley. So I'm gonna click on more bets to access all the options that I can play on this game. Then I click on all to access all the option, because at the top here you can see there's all popular goals, first half, and all of that. So to ensure that I find the handicap option clearly and to ensure that I don't miss it, I'm gonna click on all here. Then I scroll down. If you can check, the handicap option starts here and then it ends here where it says 1-0. But for this demonstration, I'm gonna show you using this handicap with a score line shown here, 0-1, 0-2, 0. It's easier to explain using this instead of that. So here's what the handicap option is. If we check these two teams, Man City versus Burnley, we all know that Man City is stronger than Burnley. Any day, Man City will beat Burnley, unless if it's a special day or something happens, they get a red card, But on a normal day, Man City beats Burnley at any time. So with the handicap option, what you're doing is you are crippling one team. So in a fixture like this, it would make sense for you to cripple, hence it's called the handicap, to cripple Man City before the game starts. Here's what I mean. If you check here, this is 0, then you have that side, then you have 1. So the 0 is for the home team, which is Man City, because it's on the left-hand side. The 1 is for Burnley, since it's on the right-hand side. So what you're saying is, if you use this 0-1 option, if you click on Burnley here, you are saying Burnley is going to win, but it goes into the match with a 1-goal lead. So it means if you click, it means here you have handicapped Man City by 1 goal. So before you go into the match, in your head, you are thinking that Burnley is leading Man City 1-0. So if the game progresses and then Man City scores, in real life the score will be 1-0. But in your head, because you have given Burnley the advantage, the score will be 1-1. And then, let's say City scores again. In reality, it will be 2-0, but in your head, it will be 2-1. So if the game ends in a 2-0, in reality, for the sake of your bet, the game has ended 2-1. So you can see that giving Burnley a 1-goal advantage is probably not a good idea. You can tell that by the odd. You see, they give you a good odd for 1-0. So in this scenario, for example, I think the option which you can play, the safest option, is probably 4-0. So here what you're saying is, before the game starts, you are assigning Man City 0 and you are assigning Burnley 4 goals. And because you are clicking on Burnley here, you are saying Burnley is going to win. If you are clicking on Man City, you are saying Man City is going to win. But because we're giving Burnley 4-0, let's say Burnley is going to win. So I click there. So let's go through all the scenarios. So in reality, when the game starts, it's 0-0. But in your head, for the sake of your bet, it's 4-0. And then if Man City scores in real life, the scores will be 1-0 in reality. But for the sake of your bet and in your head, the score is 4-1. So Burnley is still winning. So if the game ends in a 1-0, it means you win your bet because your bet says 4-1. You've crippled Man City. It's a handicap. If Man City scores 2 goals and in reality the match is 2-0, in your head the match is 4-2 because Burnley started with 4 goals. You've crippled Man City by 4 goals. So I'm sure you get where it's going. Then if Man City in reality beats Burnley 3-0, it means in your head Burnley still is winning because the score is now 4-3 for the sake of your bet and in your head. And then you lose the moment Man City makes it 4 goals because now it's 4-0. And then in reality it's 4-0. Then in your head it's 4-4 now. So you would have lost because you said Burnley is going to win. But in the case of this 4-4, if you had said draw, then you would have won because you would have given Burnley the 4-0 advantage. But in reality, Man City won 4-0. So in your head, the score is 4-4. And you said that the game will be a draw. So it's the same thing, guys, with 3-0. So this one, you must always remember that the score on the left is for the home team, which is Man City. The score on the right is for Burnley. So the only time where you cripple Burnley is here. They give you, the only option that they have is a 1-0. So if you say going into the game, Man City is leading Burnley 1-0, you can see the odd is very small. So this means that if the game ends in a 0-0, in reality, and you click Man City here, you would have won because in your head the score is 1-0, even though in reality it was 0-0. So that's how it goes, guys. I hope I explained it clearly. Let me try another fixture here for argument's sake. Let me try another fixture where the weaker side is on the away side instead of the home side, so that you see how it works. It's just loading now. It's taking time. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna take this one, Chelsea and Brentford, because Chelsea is an away team, just so you see how the whole thing works. So here, just to confirm, Brentford is a weaker team. It's on the home side. Chelsea, the stronger team, is on the away side. So in a situation like this, I'll want to cripple Chelsea, handicap Chelsea, and then give Brentford goals. So I will go to these options where the home team is given goals. So let's say I choose 2-0. I'm saying before the game starts, Brentford is leading Chelsea 2-0 and Brentford is gonna win. I can still say Brentford is leading Chelsea 2-0, but Chelsea is gonna win eventually. That's why the odd is higher there. So let me explain both cases. Let me explain how it works if I say, I click here and I say Brentford is gonna win. So going into the match, in reality the match is 0-0, but in my head the match is 2-0. So if Chelsea scores, then in reality the score becomes 1-0. It means in my head the score is now 2-1 because I gave Brentford 2 goals at the start. So Brentford is still leading, even though in reality it's losing 1-0, but in my head it's winning 2-1 for the sake of the bet that I played. And then let's say Brentford equalizes, the score is now 1-1 in reality. In my head the score will now be 3-1. So Brentford is still leading. It's leading 3-1. Let's say Chelsea then scores, it's now 2-2 or 2-1. Let's say they score is 2-1. Yes, it's 2-1. Then what it means is, in reality the score is 2-1, but in my head it will be the 1 for Burnley plus the 2 that I gave them. And then for Chelsea it will be the 2-0 that they scored themselves. So it's now 3-2. So Brentford is still winning. I don't know why I keep saying Burnley, but Brentford. Let me explain. If I click that Chelsea is gonna win, so what this means is I've crippled Chelsea by 2 goals because I gave Brentford 2 goals. So for this bet to go through, it means Chelsea in reality must beat Brentford 3-0. Then in my head, the score will be 3-2. Or actually what it means is Chelsea must beat Brentford by more than 3 goals, by 3 goals or more. Because let's say now, in reality, Chelsea beats Brentford 5-2. In my head, the score will be 5-4. So Chelsea is still winning. So you can see how the goal difference now explains it better. But it's just a matter of adding up the scores that happen in reality and the scores that you handicap the other team by, or you handicap the other team for. So I hope you guys understand this betting strategy. I think it's also a good one because for teams which don't have hope, you can actually bump them up and ensure that even if the match ends in a draw in reality, the goals that you gave them before the game push them to win. So I hope you understood the handicap option, guys. Please subscribe to help me keep making these videos. Thank you.